تقریبا در عراق و سوریه بشه که در گره با حالانه که اداره اقامت کرد
تمام كرا قوتيني تجري أبلا ما مشكل بحر في لنا بباعن رحنا قدام سؤالا مخدران كذا باعن مستم بس هنا بس ناش بجواش كان.
They would literally auction in front of soldiers, and then that's what they وحشیگری که تمام عیاره ظلمی که یک جار بود جاره لما فتنه که و تعدایی که بود یعنی که اما نه روزانه دست فروشی داشت.
On the Eiffel Tower in place of a swastika for the first time in 4 years. A group of firefighters dressed up as resistant fighters to honor those who were killed. Denise Barbillon was 11 at the time of the liberation. She remembers the dangers for Parisians even while the Germans were retreating from the city.
Well, they were leaving, the Germans launch bomb wherever, and it was in my neighborhood, close to my school. I had a little classmate who was killed there. They destroyed the house.
The Nazis were gone, but there were still problems.
And afterwards, in 1944, we didn't have much to eat. We had to stand in line for everything to find bread. We would take turns in the family to wait in line for milk. It was crazy. Everything that we did, waiting at the butcher shop.
She saw Holocaust survivors returning to Paris in their concentration camp uniforms and looking for their former homes.
I saw the prisoners, the people who were leaving the concentration camps, returning with their, not in pajamas, but an outfit with the stripes. I saw them returning and then looking to go back to their homes, to go back somewhere.
She remembers seeing what were called shorn women being displayed in public. They were suspected of collaborating with Nazis and were paraded in the streets with shaved heads.
I saw some women after liberation, the shore women in the Rue de Crimée. It became a fashion school afterwards. I know where it is exactly, that fashion school. They came out of there and they were taken in a lorry to parade them around.
Although she considers the liberation of Paris a joyous occasion, Barbillon said the aftermath of the conflict left a sting in her heart.
Staying in Paris, today hundreds of plaques commemorate the brutal fighting that took place during the liberation of Paris. 6 days of clashes between French resistance forces and the Nazis would ultimately end 4 years of occupation. Indeed, there's more on the reminders.
But memorial plaques can be found throughout the capital every day.
The oldest plaques date back to the days of the insurrection for the liberation of Paris. Often they were temporary plaques, a piece of cardboard, a slate. We find photos in the archives of these ancestors of the plaques that then became permanent plaques. New ones are still being installed today.
V walked the streets of Paris over 18 months to find all of the plaques and uncover their history. The discrete reminders are found in the neighborhoods where the most intense fighting took place. Most mark the spot where fighters died, while others focus on notable events that marked the liberation.
There are atrocious things that have happened where we live on a daily basis. We are aware of it, but it is a bit obscure. So the fact that there are these plaques, it still allows us not to forget, to keep the memory alive, which is important in my opinion.
The city maintains the plaques. They adorn the memorials with fresh flowers on May 9th, August 25th, and November 11th, all major dates in the 2 world wars.
So even if the research is scientific work, they also move me enormously because I find out who the people whose names appear on these plaques are. So for me, these plaques are no longer pieces of stone or pieces of metal. I know the story every time I pass by, so I have a very emotional connection with these plaques.
Paris is keeping the tradition alive, with new plaques to be inaugurated in the coming years. Andrew Thomas, NTD News.
And a woman from Suffolk became the UK's oldest skydiver at age 102. She celebrated her birthday by jumping from a plane yesterday. Manette Bailey describes her amazing feat.
Well, I feel it's mission accomplished, and I haven't disgraced myself. When the door opened, I thought there's nothing more I can do or say. It's just jump. Well, I suppose I jumped, but anyway, I remember my legs going out, and then it's a kind of blur. I shut my eyes, and we seem to travel at a very fast speed.
Through her skydive, she raised nearly $12,000 for various charities. After her jump, Bailey was welcomed back with a celebration from the community. Many clapped her and cheered her on. She received her skydive certificate along with some flowers. For her 100th birthday, Bailey drove a Ferrari racing car at 130 miles an hour.
Lithuania's capital, Vilnius, hosted its third annual corgi racing event on Saturday.